I never imagined a simple translation could lead to a millionaire's surprising salvation. I will never forget the day everything fell apart. It started quietly, like a whisper before a storm. The sun shined bright, but inside, shadows danced. I sat there, trembling hands clutching the paper. My heart raced, a wild beast trapped in a cage. What I found scrawled across those pages turned my world upside down. That in a cramped apartment filled with the scent of takeout and old books, I, Mia, clawed my way through life as a freelance translator. My dreams often felt like clouds present but just out of reach. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, the words swam in and out of focus. That day, my friend Lucas called, and his voice shook with urgency. "Mia, you need to see this," he gasped, his words tumbling out in a rush. It was about a man named Victor, a name whispered in hushed tones. They said he was a millionaire, but he carried a weight heavier than gold, a secret locked away. They claimed he had become a recluse since the scandal that sent ripples through the elite. I knew Lucas had been following the gossip like a hawk, but this was different. He needed someone to dive deeper, to unlock the truth. And so, I found myself on a path drenched in uncertainty. The afternoon sun spilled into the cafe where we met. Lucas' eyes sparkled with more than just the reflection of his espresso. "This letter you translate could change everything," he said eagerly. My pulse quickened. I imagined the lives tied to this one piece. A connection between hope and despair. I took a deep breath, swallowing down a wave of fear. What was I getting into? As I read through the words, the air felt electric. Something hidden pulsed beneath the surface. Victor's pain echoed in every line, his past carved out a labyrinth of emotions. There it was, the mention of a daughter lost in tragic circumstances, leaving behind a trail of heartache. I felt the lump in my throat grow, the weight of his story pressing on my chest. Could I really help him? With each passing moment, the world outside blurred. Conversations faded into white noise. I was drowning in Victor's sorrow, his desperation. I gathered myself, heart pounding. What if my translation meant more than just words? What if it could bring light to shadows long cast? Then came the twist. Just as Lucas leaned in, a stranger burst through the doors of the cafe, a man in a long coat, his eyes dark pools of mystery. He scanned the room, locking eyes on us. My stomach twisted. This wasn't just an ordinary day anymore. Something was brewing in the air, danger and opportunity intertwined like a dark storm. That I felt my heart stop. Was this man out to protect Victor or bring his downfall? I caught Lucas's eye, questions mirrored in his expression. What had we just stumbled into? The silence draped over us, heavy and suffocating. In that moment, I realized, our lives were about to change forever. Secrets were about to unravel. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The atmosphere in the cafe thickened, punctuated by the soft clinking of cups and hushed conversations that receded into the background. The man in the long coat moved toward us, his presence commanding yet unsettling. My heart raced, each beat echoing the questions swirling in my mind. Who was he? And why was he here? As he approached, Lucas instinctively leaned back, while I gripped the edge of the table, my knuckles whitening. The man's gaze wasn't menacing but rather intense, as if he could peer through the layers of my soul, exposing my fears and desires. He stopped inches from our table, an enigmatic smile playing at the corners of his lips. "You're Mia, I presume," he stated, his voice smooth, yet it held an undercurrent of urgency. "Yes," I managed to utter, my voice barely above a whisper. Lucas shot me a warning look. I could feel the weight of the moment bearing down on us, like the storm clouds I had sensed earlier. The stranger pulled a chair and sat down, uninvited. "I've come to discuss Victor," he said, leaning forward. The mention of Victor's name sent a jolt of electricity through me. Time is of the essence. He needs your help. "Who are you?" Lucas interrupted, a protective edge sharpening his tone. "And how do you know Mia?" I sensed the tension in his voice, but my curiosity overpowered my fear. The man didn't hesitate. "My name is Anton. I work for Victor. Things have spiraled out of control since the letter you hold came to light." His eyes darkened slightly, conveying a story packed with turmoil. "Victor is in danger. There are those who wish to keep his secrets buried, and they've started hunting for anyone associated with him." A chill washed over me, with the realization that I had unknowingly stepped into a dangerous game. Lucas shifted in his seat as if to shield me from an unseen threat. "What do you want from us?" He pressed. "To help us, or rather, to help Victor." "You hold the key," Anton replied, gesturing towards my laptop where the translated pages lay. "The letter holds information that could either redeem him or destroy him. Depending on how it's used." "What do you mean, redeem or destroy?" My pulse quickened at the weight of his words. Anton leaned closer, his voice dropping to a near whisper. "If Victor's truth faces the light, it could heal wounds. But the wrong people are invested in keeping it hidden. If they find out you've begun translating the letter, they won't think twice before eliminating you both." He paused, observing my reaction. "You can't simply walk away from this." My thoughts reeled, spiraling into a storm of anxiety and dread. How had a simple act of translation spiraled into a web of life and death? I glanced at Lucas, whose expression mirrored my own bewilderment, fear, but also a flicker of resolve. "We need to contact Victor," he said firmly. Before I could voice my concerns, Anton shook his head. "Not yet. There are things you don't understand. The moment you reach out, their attention will shift. They are already watching closely. You must be careful." The weight of responsibility settled heavily on my shoulders. What had initially felt like a spark of opportunity now loomed like a looming cliff, untethered and perilous. "Then what do we do?" I asked, the urgency in my voice betraying my fear. Anton leaned back, contemplating his next words. "You continue with the translation. I'll manage the logistics and keep you safe. We have to ensure Victor knows he's not alone." His expression softened for the briefest moment, revealing the depths of concern nestled beneath his stoic facade. "And in the process, perhaps you can find a way to heal your own wounds, Mia." I felt a glimmer of hope within, yet it was laced with uncertainty. Maybe this wasn't just about Victor anymore. Perhaps my own dreams of connection and belonging were intertwined with his plight, bleeding into a tapestry of shared humanity. As the cafe's light began to dim, casting shadows around us, Anton stood up abruptly. "We'll meet again soon. Continue translating. And whatever you do, don't look over